Hello everyone. Today I'm starting this integrated course Unix Linux shell scripting and Python with the WLST. This is more related to WebLogic people, and yeah, it is covering both of them. So, guys, what is the difference between Unix and Linux? Anyone? Goran, what do you think about this? What is Unix? What is Linux?
Um, Linux is a flavor of Unix. Um,
Linux is a flavor of okay. And why we have these two different names? You have any idea?
Unix is basically like open source, and Linux was made up from Unix.
I think Linux is developed by someone else, and also majorly it is using Bash shell, right?
Correct. Yeah, if you take Unix, it doesn't use Bash, and if you take Linux, it is going to use Bash shell. That is the main first entry level difference. And okay, Linux is open source and Unix is a specification that is implemented by multiple vendors, just like Java is having J2E specification, and a lot of companies implemented their uh, right? So you have WebLogic and WebSphere, etc., different companies, and similarly, we are having this Unix. AIX is Unix, Solaris is Unix, HP Unix. These are the vendors. They built their Unix operating system. The main motto is multi-platform. Main causes multiple users need to access, and one CPU is used for multiple users. That is the main aim when they built. It is in 1970s, around 70s. Yeah, keep on growing with the network features, and we have protocol called TCP. TCP/IP protocol changed the world and everybody into the network internet stream. So that changed a lot, and a lot of open source are there is a separate group is created. Everybody contribute. Everybody can give something. Then they can create some functions. They can give some utilities. That is keep on adding into Linux kernel. So Linus Travalda is created the Linux and.
Aren't receiving your number entry due to a possible issue with your phone carrier. Please hang up and dial another provided phone number or try dialing from another.
I think Venkat. Okay, right. So we have two important differences. That is, one is shell, another one is what is open source, what is closed, that is vendor specific, or you need to buy with licensed software. Yeah, if you buy Linux, that is again a vendor specific. If you go for Red Hat, it is a vendor specific Linux. But as if you see Ubuntu, it's open source. If you see any other Linux flavors which are readily available on the internet, and you can just have a ISO files and install it on any platforms. It may be Intel processors, it may be a specific uh, uh, different machines which we can use for installing. Okay, finally Venkat on the line. Good, good. Venkat, are you able to hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. Yeah, so the basic thing here, KSH is normally used in Unix operating systems. Bash is going to use in most of the Linux operating system as a default shell. Okay, so we try to understand what is the differences a little bit, and what are the basic things. Okay, so most common things are there in both the shells, and you can use them in scripting. but don't be panic what it is, why you have so many shells, why you have KSH, bash, and etc. Don't worry about that. So we just try focusing on how we are going to make scripting, and that will help us to make the automations. So first we try to understand program controls, and then we try to understand regular expressions. Then we'll move towards file processing, how we can make the file processing, and then we try to understand the processes. Normally whenever you work on a WebLogic, WebSphere, JBoss, anything, you are going to use a PS-EF pipe grep, then some process, Java, something like that. So that is nothing but you're working on processes. Why and how and all those details we try to understand in the process management section. And then memory management. We have RAM on every system. On Linux system or in Unix system, you need to find how much space is left over, how much space is keep virtually available, that swap space is available, and when it is going to be overloaded to avoid the problems, how we can just keep monitoring and keep refresh that memory, how we can make that one. That things we'll get to know about memory management. And yeah, so the bash is born again shell actually, and this is created by this guy who is here, uh, Brian Fox. So Brian Fox created in the 80s, and this is a little late compared to KSH. KSH is older, and SH is a shell, Bourne shell. Bourne shell is the first shell that is given with the Unix operating system. So as you said, Unix is a parent and Linux is a child operating system. So you will be getting all the features of SH. Whatever you are having SH shell functionalities, the same thing you can have in KSH, same thing you can have in Bash. So there are some specifications again, and this Bash is after 1989. So before that one, we have some commands. That commands were there in SH. So the commands will be common. The commands also in under specification, common specification, that is called POSIX specification, POSIX. So there are number of shells in Linux and Unix operating systems, and yes, the SH is a base shell, Bourne shell you're going to call it as. And whenever you want to execute this shell, this is having a lot of difficulties in the older Bourne shell. So Bourne shell is not having the navigation to upper, lower, previous commands, or it doesn't maintain the history, and it doesn't have the capability of editing features much. Whereas Bash is having best editing feature in the command line, and you can navigate from here, end of the line or beginning or moving is very easy navigation in the line. Okay, and the same thing you can have the best features in KSH, but it will be little bit hard. That is because you are going to say, when you don't know VI commands, then it will be hard. If you know VI, then it will be much faster. So VI is common thing which you are going to use in shell command line also. You can set it in your profile when you are going to log into that. Okay, so we just want to understand how the path is going to work. Whenever you start a batch profile, you're going to have a KSH. There is a common shell that whenever you enter into that, immediately it is going to run one script. That script is dot bash underscore profile if it is bash shell. If it is KSH, then it is a dot bash profile. Why dot you are saying every time means there is hiding the hidden file. The file is hidden. When you just say ls-l, it doesn't appear in the list. Okay, so all the profiles will be in hidden format. And there is one more profile that will be available in every Unix and Linux systems. That profile is automatically executed when this operating system is launched, that Unix system or Linux system. That profile is available in etc folder. /etc, there you will find profile. So that profile is common for all users who log into your machine. In your Unix machine, in your Linux machine, you can have n number of users. And you're switching to the one particular user where your WebLogic is running, WL admin or Oracle is running, then Oracle user. Like that you will be switching and then you are using. So for all users, you want to enter with your LDAP user, then you will be executed the profile. When you are entering with the sudo access, then also it is going to execute. So that common profile that is in etc profile, that will be executed. So with that one we are getting this what would be profile for KSH. For KSH we are going to have dot profile. Yeah. So the etc profile is common and that will be available on Unix and Linux, and it will be available in all shells, any shell. There are some different shells like TESS shell and C shell, and there are Z shell that is specific to Solaris operating system. And there are a lot of file systems and there are different shells are used, and each one is having its own speciality and usability, and that depends on which work you are working on it. So once you are invoked that profile, you are getting the path. So most of the Linux operating system path environment variable, it's an environment variable. Just when you log into your system, you just type env. In the env, environment variables you are getting. All these environment variables are defined from the etc profile. If you want to add something, suppose I want to add Java home bin, suppose I want to add the WebLogic bin or WebLogic home or WebSphere home or JBoss, any software, anything which you are commonly using and you want to keep in a accessible from any path, then you are going to add that variable into this path, appending this any path to your path, then you will be getting the access to that one. Okay, so that is the most important thing. So when you are going to have a directory structure, like A is having two child directories, B and C, and B is again having the D directory, then you can have that hierarchy directory structure. And in the POSIX system, all the directory paths separated with the forward slash. In Windows doesn't allows this POSIX. That's why they always uses backslash. When you are navigating C colon, then it will be in backslash, backward. So Linux and Unix, it is going to use forward. We are having two different paths. If you are going to use from the beginning, from where it is started, from the root. So if you see this hierarchy, A is the root and from there B, C and D are coming up. So from the beginning of the parent and going up to the last, /A/B/D, we are going to call that is absolute path. Okay, so that this kind of path, if you are going to use in any scripts, any shell scripts or any automation scripts, that will be work absolutely perfect. And there are some restrictions when you are working on automations, when you are working on IAM, whenever your system is rebooted, you want to automatically bring up the some of the script services. For example, node manager, you want to bring up node agent in the WebSphere, then that scripts should have all the paths, complete absolute path should be given. So there is another path, that is a relative path. Okay, so absolute path means it is from the root to the file or directory. That is completely you have to give. That will be lengthy, but you have to give that. Relative path means from wherever you are, from there you can relate it. And there are different symbols which will make you to navigate very easy. Okay, this commands I'll just show you on my terminal. Just a moment. Right. So whenever I logged in, how can I find I'm into in which shell? Okay. So I'm into some shell, and how do I know I'm into bash shell or I'm into cron k shell? Okay. So first important command is echo dollar shell. The capital letters, if you give, then it is going to tell you you are into which shell. You are into bash shell, and it is having the absolute path /bin bash. So bash is available in bin directory. Oops. Okay, so whenever you know this, you are into bash shell, then you can look for a script that is in the home directory. Home, how do you know it is a home directory? This symbol, the sleeping S. Okay, that is indicates the home directory. Okay, so if you just type ls-lti, you don't find anything here. The same thing, if you add a, then you are getting the hidden files. So in this list of hidden files, you can also find the bash related profile. Okay, just a moment. So bash profile is here, and I'll just show you. You can add any n number of variables and aliases. So first script, what you're going to edit, what you're going to learn, the script, that is profile script. The profile is very important for any project and for any automations. Okay, so if you are working on Oracle database, if you are working on WebLogic or JBoss and WebSphere, this will makes you very easy when you know about the shortcuts. How do you make? So whenever I type LL, it is going to work. SL, by mistake, if I type instead of LS, it is going to work for me. How it is working? If I just made that aliases, okay. So in this profile, I define that one. If I type this one, it should be like that. Okay. So if I want to see what is the WebLogic processes running, there is one shell script I have written, and I just made the link to that one. And WLST, it is available on your WebLogics wherever you install. In the Oracle Common, you're going to have common bin directory. There you can find the WLST shell script. That you can just alias it, and you will be getting WLST. So just simple aliases, and you can also have environment variables defining. Okay, so when you are defining this environment variables, before that one we are having more other environment variables. You can see that environment variables list by saying env. Okay, so some of them which you are defined, that is also coming in the list. So because your bash profile already executed, and you can see the path here. The path is having lot of bins, multiple bins. Okay, so these bin directories are having multiple Unix utilities or shell utilities or POSIX utilities. That commands you are able to execute. Okay, some of them you are going to make the tar, you want to make zip, you want to make some automation things, then the command should be available in the list. If it is not available, then you have to bring that into the path. Okay, that is about the path and how we are going to use in the scripts in the profile. So absolute path is required when you are working on the environment variable defining. Okay, then there are a lot of commands, but how do you know how to use that one? There are different choices we have. Man is one command. Man is going to have a man pages. Okay, this is available in Unix. This is also available in Linux. Info and which these are the very useful commands. This info is absolutely free, available in Linux, and it is a utility. It is not available in the Unix in the older versions. And again, you have different flavors, and each one is having their own choices. You can also use -h for any command. Suppose I want to know about date command. I'm going to say date -h. It is not working for this one. So the same thing, if I say info, I'm getting complete information. Okay, so that's information is useful, and you can come out from that using Q. And man page is going to have all the options, and with examples you can have. So this is also, you can come out from a Q. Okay, and you also having which command. The command belongs to which path. You are having a lot of paths. I just showed a lot of bins. So the date command belongs to /bin directory. If you want to see if config, the network command it is present in sbin. It's a super user command. Okay, so not every command belongs to bin, or any command which you want to use, that should be in present in the path. Okay, if you make some utilities, shell scripts, and keep that in one bin, the bin path is added to this one, then you don't need to navigate to the directory. You can run from anywhere, any directory, you can execute that script. Okay, and there is one more important command when you are typing ls-l, you're not getting that hidden files. And you're going to, whenever you said A, you're getting hidden files, and then there are two important files, the linking files. The dot indicates current, and double dot indicates parent, right? So dot indicates dot that absolutely in this directory. So sometimes you want to execute the script. In the script you are writing dot space, then the path of the script where you want to execute. Alright. So and if you want to link up some of the scripts which are not in the present directory, you need to give the absolute path for that. Okay. Um, yeah, who is helping you to understand how many users are connected, and ch mode, ch1, ch, these are all changing options. You can switch from one mode to another mode, that when you are going to allocate some file permissions, then you are going to use ch mode modification. Ownership, users, groups, if you want to change, then you will go for ch1. chsh, you are switching from one shell to another shell, then chsh. A date, we have seen that these are the basic commands which we are going to use in our scriptings. Okay, in shell, everything is string. Whatever you are storing to a variable, that is absolutely a string. You don't need to give a double quotes or single quotes to say this is a string in shell. If I'm going to say in a shell x is equal to per1, like this, or the same thing I can say without single quotes also, it will work here in shell, because I'm in bash shell. I can use like this. Everything is a string. If I'm saying x is equal to 100, this is also string. The 100 is in double quotes on. It is not a number for doing any calculations, unless until it is given to operator brackets, then only it is going to be converted into integer type, then it is going to work for that. Okay, so in shell everything is a string. Every value what you are assigning to a variable is a string. And shell export becomes environment variable that is required in every profile, or when you are working on some of your scripts, you can also use the export keyword. Export, then followed by environment variable. Most of the variables we define in capital letters only. So for example, middleware home, MW underscore home, WebLogic home, WL underscore home. These values we are defining in capital letters. Okay, and that will become the environment variable, and all the environment variables you can list out using env. So what is the use of this export? Why should I use export? Right, and when you are executing the shell, there are in the present shell you are executing, and you are going to create a subshell. There are two different choices. Okay, so I'm just showing that two examples here now, and I'm just making one simple example. First.sh. Okay, echo first shell script. Okay, how do we comment in the shell? In shell, any shell, bash shell or KSH, it is common. You can give the hash symbol and you can make a comment. This is comment. And this will not be executed. This line will not be given for the interpretation. Shell is an interpret language. So you can saving. Alright, so the script, the first.sh, I can execute like this: sh first.sh. It is working. Okay, I am not giving any permission to the shell and it is executing. So how it is working? You are in the present shell, the bash shell. You logged in and you got the shell, bash shell, and you are not using that shell. You are executing that shell with another sub shell. The sub shell is created whenever you set sh, and it is going to executing as in a sub shell, and the output you are getting on the screen. Okay, so the same thing you can do bash first. It is also do the same. So first thing and second thing, what is the difference? Vidya, what's the difference? What do you see?
Bash, it uses bash shell to execute the script.
First one is Bourne shell. You have created a Bourne shell subshell, and second time you created another bash shell. You are in a bash shell and you are creating another subshell with bash. Okay, so you can use any type of shell and you can execute your program without giving any permissions. And if I'm having this file name without sh, does it works, Gaurang?
Um, mm,
No
yes,
idea.
yes, it will work.
It do work. Yeah, so let's make this file as first.txt. I'm going to work bash. Absolutely working. So extension is just for us who is reading, who want to see this is a shell, just to make sure this is a shell. We are making that extension. Otherwise, there is no meaning for executor. That shell is not really required any shell extensions. Okay, the file which contains the commands, that is a script. Okay, you don't need to have .sh compulsory. Yeah, so there are a lot of commands which are made without extension. If you see Java, that is also an executable shell script, but it is binary. It is it's not file. It's not a text file, ASCII file. It is a binary file. Okay, so there are different files in our system, and how do you know it's a binary file or ASCII file? You have a command file command. You can just say file and give the file name. You can identify what it is. It's an ASCII file. First.txt is ASCII text file. We are editing in VI editor, nano editor, Emac or any Any editor you can use and you can create it. Alright, so you're able to create a subshell and you are able to execute this command. And why we are having other options, yeah, and every time you don't want to give that shell name, and then yeah, just I'm making back this.
Pawan, I didn't get the difference between the sh and bash when you run that file. Can you please repeat one more time? I mean, what is the difference there?
Difference is not there here. Both are different shells. We are executing that command. The command is same, echo command. So echo command is common in the both shells. Then it is executing that. Nothing difference in that.
I mean, when we run the script with bash, it runs in the bash shell, right? And how about when we run it in sh, like sh space script name?
Yeah, sh, it is running on Bourne shell.
Oh, okay, okay.
It creates a child.
Pavan,
Yeah, yeah. Actually, Bash is a parent. When you log into your shell, this Bash is a parent shell. And on the Bash, whenever you set sh, a Bourne shell is created. It's a child shell. Sub shell is created, and it is executing the program. Yeah, you are saying something?
yeah, Pavan. Right now we are in our current shell is bash shell, right?
Yeah,
So when we are in bash shell, can you execute file with different shell also?
that is what we are doing, right?
Okay, I mean a KSH
Yes, yes.
and everywhere. Oh, okay.
That is what I am showing here. The first
So
one
that is,
we had executed, that is Bourne shell. It is not Bash shell.
yeah. So that you call as a
Sub
subshell, right?
Yes.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Okay. So there are some special characters in Unix, and that will makes a lot of sense, and it will very faster useful. And if you know most of the symbols, what is the purpose of it, and then it will be very easy. Yeah, when you're working on VI editor, and there are a lot of symbols makes super fast. You don't get the commands in any editor, in Windows, in Notepad. You don't get that much flexibility what you have in VI. VI is having a lot of commands, and you can manipulate the text super fast if you know the symbols. Okay, so whenever you want to work on some commands and you want to escape some of the symbols, like for example, I have a program files, the biggest challenge in C, in Windows. C colon program files. Then Java path, if I'm going to define, then some of the program doesn't understand, and it cannot, it will be breaking, right? The space is breaking. So in Linux, the space, if you want to give one word, two words for a file, then you have to use the slash escape sequence. Okay, and whenever you want to use some symbols, like you want to give a dollar symbol within the text, then you need to give the backslash. You need to suspend that it is a, you need to say that it's a raw string. Okay, so you should not convert into the Unix symbols. That is what we are going to make it using the escape sequence. Double quotes, that it will be used most of the time when you are working on to make more power to your string, and you want to convert dynamically, then you are going to get that one. Single quotes is static. Double quotes will bring the data from the dollar symbol. Whenever you have some dollar symbol prefix to any variable, then the data will be automatically coming into that. So in this previous example, I have defined x. I just want to print echo. Then I'm going to say x value. Then I'm going to say $x. Right. So within double quotes, I'm getting the value, the x value which I have defined earlier. in this shell, in the bash shell. That value I'm getting here. Okay, so how does it happen? This value is included. Well, same thing if I'm going to use single quotes. What is happening? The difference between double quotes and single quotes, there is very small change. That is, double quotes is more powerful. Single quotes is everything makes static. Even though you have defined as variables within the single quote, that will be text only. Whereas in double quotes, it will be parsing and it is going to escape and it is going to get the value of that variable. Okay, so when you are defining.
So, question here, Pawan. So, when you use the single quotes, it is taking as a string, and when you use the double quotes, it is taking as a variable value.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so the script naming, when you are going to define the name, you please give the meaning for what is the purpose of that script. Suppose I'm going to make disk space cleanup. So it should be disk space cleanup, that task we are going to do that. Or if you are going to make some script, start server, start WebLogic, start admin, start manage. So that should be a meaningful name you have to provide when you are writing a script. Okay, and show that it is a shell script to make to human readable. Then only we are going to give these extensions. Data sh, we are going to have the shell bound shell, and if you are going to have ksh, that is going to have ksh just for our purpose. It is not for the system purpose. Inside whatever you write, that will be executed according to the shell which you are invoking, the sub shell. Starting with dot indicates the hidden file. Remember this one. This will be happening for all profiles. Naming the script. Don't use the spaces, special symbols. Don't use this. Okay. So when you are going to work on this shell, it is an interpreter language. In every line by line, it is going to execute. And if I am going to have a script of 10 lines, after executing 5 lines, I got something wrong in the program, in the script. Then it will be stopping there itself, first line, first error itself. Okay, so it's an interpreter language. There are two types of languages: compiler language and interpreter language. Compiler will be doing compilation first phase, then second phase linking. That will be happen in C or C++ kind of languages. And Java also uses the same compilation, then execution. So here scripts, shell scripts, Python scripts, or any script. Scripting means it is going to use interpreter. You are going to have one time go. Once you write the program, you directly go for running the program. Okay, then important first thing is, in the first line, you are going to have a shebang line. When you write a script, it is not compulsory, not mandatory to create the shebang line. So whatever you write hash symbol after that exclamatory mark, that you're going to specify you want to use the shell, which shell you want to use. Okay, so that shell will be used to execute the following program. The first line is going to indicate which shell you want to use. You may use bash shell, you may use KSH, you may use Bourne shell, or C shell, TSH, ZSH, anything. So it tells the type of shell interpreter to use for your script. The example is like this. Shebang is a hash symbol and exclamatory mark. Then path of that particular interpreter, bash or sh, whatever. This is a bash example. Okay, KSH, you are going to give KSH, SH. Or if you want to go for Perl, then where is the Perl path? Check that using which command and give the path. If you are going for Python, then which Python, then give the path. Okay, so those are all different choices for shell. Yeah, script structure. How do you build a shell script? structure. Any program structure, if you start, the first you are going to have importing, connecting, then you're going to start variables, then you are going to bring up the programming logic. So in the shell script, also we are having certain structure. First, we are going to have what interpreter you want to use, and then some description about the script. That is the best way of commenting. So then you can write who is creating this
Can you use
script.
yeah, Pawan, can you use a different type of shell types in one script,
In one,
like Python? Or, yeah.
yeah, one-liners you can use. The whole script will be using one interpreter. Inside that, you can invoke any sub shells.
Subshells. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
In that case, you need to use the absolute path, and you can call the command. For example, in my bash shell, I can call Perl script. Okay, I can call a Python script. You just need to give the absolute path of that Python, and then where is the script or where is the command, what command you want to execute in that. You can do that.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks.
So when you are making a script, this is the standard you need to follow. When you are created first time, you name it and who is created and date of the script when you are created, and also give the version, uh, like draft version first initially, then you find everything working fine, then you name it as 1.0 version. So some of the projects, this script also need to be in the SVN. Some of the projects, it should be in GitHub. Okay, so better you give the versions. First time you create it, then it is working fine. You adding new functionality to that, then give the 1.1, 1.2 like that. Okay, then you can define some functions in the shell. You can have some modules within the script, and then program logic comes there. Okay, so this is a absolute structure how we can make a shell script, and you can add at the end exit 0. It's not mandatory, but it's a good practice, best practice in creation the script. Okay. Yeah. So how do we execute the programs? We have just seen one example, but why we are going to use this chmod? What is this chmod? We are changing mode for the file, and we are going to give the option. So whenever you see the file first.sh, it is having already some set of permissions, rw or r. RW dash, that is for user, and the next three options what you are seeing here, it is for group. What is a group here, Vinod?
Sorry, I was on mute. Group is O install, and Oracle is a owner.
Absolutely, yeah. So the what is the third set what we are having, that is for others. Others means other users, other group members. Okay, so we want to give the permission for this first.sh. Okay, so you want to give execute permission, chmod, then the permission I want to give for owner, that is user. I'm just giving the permission for execution. I'm giving X. It's very easy English readable format, right? So I got the execute permission. If I want to give the permission for all users, groups, and others, okay, then I can make chmod a plus x, right? Same thing you have with numbers. We'll talk about the numbers in detail in another file management system when we discuss about that. Okay, so now we got the permission for this, and
Pavan,
then
one
execute.
question here. I know we have a user means owner and group and other person, but what is A here?
I think you're not hearing or breaking something. I told it is all. A for all
Oh,
means
okay, got it. Yeah.
owner, other, group, all.
Yes, yes, got it. Thank you.
Yeah, you can see the execute permission given for all. User got it and your group and again others also got the execute permission. Anyone can execute who just connect to this one. I connected with Oracle user. If I connect with another user, Pawan user or Vinod user, I can execute this script first.sh. Okay, and when you are executing this one, can I execute like this? No, it is saying command not found. If I say same thing dot slash, it is executing. Okay, so what I'm giving dot means present slash, this is file here in the present directory, and execute it. Where it is executing? In the bash shell where we are present. Okay, the same thing you can also do like this, first.sh. One space you are giving and it will be executed from your shell script also like this. Dot slash and that script name will be working in command line, but in the script you want to call another script, then the second way, dot space the script. Okay, right. Then what is the use of shabang? Okay, so this interpreter I want to use for this script, that is bash. Okay, command not found. Okay, Shabang is going to work. It is going to tell the commands which are given in the script that will be using that only bash. That is what we are going to mention. Okay, and next thing, yeah, user execute permissions. We have checked that we are given execute permission using u plus x. Okay, script name and slash you can use, or dot space you can use. Script whatever you are giving, that is dot indicates current in the present script, and the platform information which you are going to get, that is Linux platform or Unix platform. How do you differentiate, and how do you, some of the commands work only in Unix, some of them work in Linux. So to differentiate, uname is a command that will be telling you what platform you are in. You are in Linux. Okay, so if it is Linux, I want to do something. If it is Solaris, Sun Solaris, then you will be getting Sun OS. If you are working on Unix, HP Unix, HP UX, you are going to get. Okay, so uname is a common command that will help you to understand when you are in which platform. Accordingly, you can select the commands to execute. Options in the command. Command will be same, but options will be changing for different platforms. Yeah, and hard drive, the space, mount points, etc. You want to see, then you are going to use the def command. Directory structure, how do you have in each platform? In Unix and Linux, it will be same, and the path separator is slash forward slash. Okay, so I think I'm done with my basic entry to your shell script. So whenever you start working on it, you just have your virtual machine on your laptops. You can start practicing. You can do one thing. You can have a Vagrant installed, and you can install Ubuntu. That will be very easy to install, or any flavor you want to work on, you want to practice. That flavor boxes are available on the vagrantbox.es website. Okay, and this is an exercise for you. You try to work out. Find, just open a terminal and type pwd, and type echo $pwd. What does it means, and try to understand how we can make into a script. Check your profile script. what profile you are having in your project, in your development, in your production, understand that one. And then type info, this du command and df command, what you will find new in it, what are the options, you read it. So we'll make a script in the next session when we talk about shell scripting. Okay, so that is about shell scripting. You have any questions? Kranti, Ram, Venkat, Vidya, Karan, Kiran.
Pawan, wanted to know, we did not add interpreter initially into the script, and still we were able to run it, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, what is the significance of putting the interpreter in the beginning?
Suppose I want to run a Python program. You are in which shell? You are in bash shell, and you want to execute the command lines which are Python lines. So in normal case you can directly execute dot slash and give that, then it is executing with bash shell, but it is not going to change that use what shell, it is not telling. So that is the use. If you use Perl commands, then Perl interpreter, like that.
I'm sorry, but I still didn't get it.
Um, okay, I do one thing. In next session, I will come with the two examples. Then it will be much clear for you. I'll give you one Ruby and one Perl example. On the shell, we are going to execute that. You will be understanding that.
Okay, yeah.
Or
Thanks,
you
Pawan.
can also try if you have one simple line in Perl, one simple line in Ruby, that will work. Okay.
Pawan,
Yep.
Pawan, we are missing one video from the WebLogic. That's the Thursday morning class.
Yeah, yeah, that
Thursday.
we'll see. Yeah, I'll share that.
Okay, thank you.
Pawan, this is Vinod. This class is going to be shell scripting plus some
WLST.
WebLogic
Yeah.
scripting.
Yep, yep. Yeah, just
Okay, so you.
this is up to now what I have explained. It is shell scripting. So if
Oh, okay.
you are done with your queries, I can switch to WLST basic. Any other questions related to shell basics?
Or like related to shell, like so how long you'll be taking, how many classes, and like up to what extent you'll be explaining? I didn't check the
The
content
content is
actually.
already shared with you, I think. The course will run around 15 sessions, 15 topics on shell.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey Pawan, this is Kiran.
Yep.
Yeah, I won't be able to join next Friday.
Mm-hmm.
So how do I collect the information for next Friday? Like when your class next Friday? Because I will be traveling
Okay. Yeah,
that
we are
evening.
recording the sessions and it will be available on YouTube, and it will be privately shared with you.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So any other questions related to shell scripting automations?
Hi, this is Ram.
Yeah, Ram.
Are you going to discuss about this ambience hierarchy and all these things in WLST?
Yeah. 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 Now I'm beginning that WebLogic automation now. I didn't get your voice clearly, but I think you asked about Mbin MX, right?
Yeah, I'm yeah, just asking, are you going to discuss about ambient hierarchy,
Yeah.
how to understand those and how to use those in
Yeah. Yeah. We'll do that. Absolutely. All right. Yeah. So I'm starting the WebLogic automation, WLST. Yeah. So WebLogic automation covers here the basic Python commands and Jython basics that around 9 sessions which relates with all this, and some of the commands relates with the shell script and common, that is regular expressions when you talk about it. And yeah, JMX, all the stuff, whatever you're going to have with the WebLogic configurations and monitoring stuff, that we can discuss around 9 sessions. Okay, so WLST takes around 18 sessions, 18 hours. Okay, so this basic, yeah, I think it should be shown before. I have a blog WLST by examples, and I have contributed into 2 books, that is Advanced WebLogic Server Automation and WebLogic Diagnostic Framework. These are the 2 books which are published from Germany, and Martin Hensel, he published this book, and he took help of me, 2 chapters in each, and it was went well. If you want, you can buy it on Amazon. It is available, these books. Okay. And you can also follow me on Facebook or plus Google, and hope you will subscribe, and you can get to know whenever I read something, and I'll sharing something about WLST or Jython, and that will be, you can also read. That is the main aim for that, following me. Okay, so the basic demo covers the Python, Jython, and the WLST. Okay, so what covers in our course, that is in this session for demo, what is WLST, why we are going to use, and how we can use, what are the benefits, how it is going to helpful for demand your salary more, and how we can benefit it, job demand, how it is in the US and other places. Okay, so quickly, what is WLST? What do you think about WLST? You know something about that? You're already in WebLogic, everyone? Yeah, the WebLogic, who knows, they are already aware of there is something in the shell, right? So yeah, so a WLST script, what we are going to make, that is absolutely a Python syntax. Just now we have seen the syntax setup, how to make this shell script. That is this scripting also having its own structure. Okay, so WLST is follows the Python structure, and it runs on JVM. Earlier, if you see shell script, it is running on a shell, bash shell. WLST is having a shell that will be running on JVM. It's not running on operating system directly. It is running on Java virtual machine. So whenever you run WLST command, WLST.sh, it will be invoking a Java program. It is running. If you just check JPS, you will be getting Java process. Okay, so I'll just show you one sample. Here I'm just saying WLST because I have created the alias, the shortcut in the profile. I'm able to invoke the shell, WLST shell. Actually it should be Oracle common bin. There it is a WLST.sh. Okay, so here I'm just calling the same script with the alias WLST. So first, when it is started, it is showing initializing WebLogic scripting to WLST. Initialization is happening. What it is doing, Jython scan all jobs. This is time consuming. After this, whatever you do, it is same like your shell. In bash, whatever the command you are executing, here also whatever the command you are executing, it is being executed and giving the output. So this interactive process is available in WLST, just like shell. Okay, so here the interpretation, again, this is also scripting language. WLST is a scripting language. It doesn't use any compilation. It is just you're having some 10 lines of code, and it is going to execute. Whenever some error comes, it will stop there. No errors, it will execute completely. What extra we are having here in the WLST Python, object orientation is there, and in shell you don't have object orientation. and it is going to have the sessions, and you are going to have the robustness for your script. If something goes wrong, how to handle that one, that is exception handling. Exceptional cases happens that we can handle with the exception handling. And all scripting languages support dynamic typing. What is this dynamic typing? Dynamic typing, you are having a variable x, you are assigning a value for one, that is a string. X became a string variable. And if x is assigned with 100, it is automatically changed to integer type. This is dynamic typing. The same variable will be converted to different types. In shell it is only string, but in Python shell or in WLST shell it is dynamic type. You don't need to worry about converting the variable. Okay, very high level and dynamic support we are having for variables and classes and different automatic memory managements also you can have. So in WLST, whatever you define, it's object. In shell everything is string, in WLST everything is object. In Python it is everything object. Okay, so one example we'll see here, x, I'm going to create a variable x. I'm not saying any variable. In Java programming, in C programming, first you have to write int x, then you can define the value like this. But in Python, in WLST, you can directly write x is equal to 100. Okay, then you can say x, what type of it? It is an integer type. If I'm going to say x is equal to Vinod, okay, it is automatically changed. It is not giving any error. I can assign any value to the variable. Dynamically it is changing. How it is changing? Let us see. Type x. Now it is str. Earlier it is integer type. Now it is string type. The type is changed. Dynamically changed. This is what dynamic change. Okay. So dynamic type is supported in WLST. That is giving more power. And it is also having a clear syntax. No other language gives this special feature. Only Python is giving that clear syntax. Whatever you write in a program structure, you will be following indentation. You are not following any flower brackets. You don't need a begin and a sign. That is not required. Okay, so you need to give indentation. Very, very important that follow strict indentation rules. The block begins, block ends. The set of statements you are making a block. Set of commands you are making a block. The blocks you can make with indentation. This indentation you can use single space, you can use 4 spaces, you can use 8 spaces. There are 3 choices. Okay, the tab space, the tab what you are using in the keyboard tab, that will be different for Notepad. For Notepad++ different, for VI editor it is different. So when you are starting a script, you should not copy paste some part from this one, some part from there. It will be always makes errors, gives error, indentation error in Python. Okay, so always when you start a script in VI, you complete in VI only. You type everything in the VI. Don't copy from Notepad or Note++. So that's why you better learn more VI commands, then it will be much more easier for you. Okay, and you are going to have more system calls, the system libraries you can use in Python, WLST, you want to execute operating system command. Then you can just import that library and you can use that. Multiple language support is there in Python WLST, and it is very, very comfortable flexibility. You can call a Java function, you can call a C program function, you can call operating system function into your Python. Okay, so that's why WLST is more flexible. How does this script is going to work? You're going to make some set of statements in WLST. The file is going to have the .py extension. The .py extension is again same, naming convention is for us, not for the system. If you don't give .py also it will work. The WLST script, it's a Jython script. You are going to have some Python command structure, and it is going to have a lot of Jython commands. So you are going to have this Jython compilation process, how it is going to work. First phase, it is going to use Java libraries, Python libraries, Jython libraries. On top of all this, you're going to execute, compile it, all are working fine, errors free. Then it is also uses JMX when you are working with the Java server, that WebLogic servers related stuff. JMX mbeans if you are going to use, then it is going to call the WebLogic libraries. Where this WebLogic libraries, in WebLogic server installation directory, there is a, in the servers directory, the server directory is going to have a lib directory. That libraries will be directly connecting to your WLST. So whenever you start WLST first time, it will be connecting all these libraries, 4 different libraries: Java library, Python library, Jython library, and WebLogic libraries. That's why it is taking time when you are launching WLST. Okay, then if you the program is having some set of commands that will be converted with different library references, and it will be giving a bytecode because it has to run on JVM. If the Java program is there, then we are going to compile, then it is going to run. But here it is interpreter script. So whenever you are given the script for execution, first it will be converted into bytecode. The bytecodes are given to the JIT compiler. JIT compiler in JVM, it is going to execute that part by part, all the commands which you are given in the WLST, and that output is coming on the screen. Okay, on the TTY or terminal, or you can send it to any file. So these are the 4 important steps takes place when your WLST script is going to work. Any questions? Yep.
What's the difference between Python and Jython?
Python is shell, that is again just like our shell, but Python is another language. Okay, and Jython is Java implementation of Python. The mixing of the Python structure program will be Python structure, but the execution will be on JVM, Java Virtual Machine. This Java virtual machine, the box is there, right, in the right side. That is not there means that is only Python. If it is there, then that is Jython.
Yeah, Pavan, is there any difference between was admin scripts and WLST scripts?
Sorry, I didn't get your question.
Is there any difference between was admin scripts and WLST scripts? I mean WebSphere and WebLogic.
Definitely, that is vendor specific, right? The script functionality will be same, but script commands will be different.
Okay.
Yeah. So in WS admin, it is different, and WebLogic scripting, Jython is having different Jython libraries. If you take the WebSphere 8.1 or 8.5, 8.55, whatever the latest version 9 you have, so in that Jython is the older version, Jython 2.1, that is a programming language, Jython. And whereas in WLST, the latest version of Jython 2.5 is used in 12C WebLogic. So that is the main difference you can find. And the help, what you are going to get in WLST is absolutely easy, readable. And if you see in WS admin, it is little bit confusing. You need to use every time print command before using the help. Here, if you see in the WLST, you can directly say help. That's it. You will be getting direct help. So all the help commands, WLST commands, you can easily see. The same thing if you want to see in Jython WS admin, you need to use a print command, then only it will be visible in proper format. The string format is not in a good way interpretation in the this Jython.
Okay.
Okay.
So can we just compile the Python program, or it's just one-time shot like interpreter?
Yeah, all scripting languages are interpreter languages. So the Python also have the same feature, but yeah, you can do that. One time, what benefit you are going to get, that is the main important. So every time you execute, it is scanning from the top and it will executing one by one line only. So if you, even though you compile and keep it available, that compiled code, the bytecode will be ready, and it again interprets using the JIT compilers. Not much benefit, but yeah,
Okay,
you can
but
do that.
we cannot just compile it without executing like C.
Yeah, you can do that. So if you are going to see here, your question is with respect to Python. This is a Python, right? So you can execute a Python command. This is different, and WLST is different. So this Python, if you want to use, then you can create compiled code separately and you can have it ready to execute, interpret. You can make it. For that, there is a command pyc is a command to compile it and keep it ready. Okay, back to our slide, and yeah, who can do this WLST and Python scripting?
Hey, Pawan, I have one
You are
question.
working on Fusion Middleware development, administration, OSP, web center sites, where any administration task you are working on Fusion Middleware, they can do WLST. That will help more for them. Somebody
Hey,
talking?
Pawan, one
Yep.
question. You mentioned in first slide, you mentioned like WLST is a JMX client. Can you elaborate that? I'm not quite sure like what is JMX client and what, I mean, how it's related to WLST.
Yep. JMX is a one of the specification in Java J2EE specification. JMX Java Management Extension. Okay, so JMX Java Management Extension, that is interacting with your WebLogic server. The hierarchy is going to have Ambient hierarchy is having the three different levels. First probe level, then interface level, then you are going to have the access to that MBs. Three levels are there. So the probe level, where you can have configuration MBs. That configuration MB means you're going to have domain, WebLogic servers, admin server, manage server. Each one is configured. So configuration level, you're configuring listen address, listen port, etc. And in runtime, dynamic MBs will be there. Dynamic MBs are the server when you started, admin server is started, manage server is started, then your entire domain is in active state. That is runtime MBs. The runtime MBeans will be interacted again with the help of the MBean server as an agent, and that will be providing the access. That access you can get it in the WLST. Okay, so in WLST shell you can have all these configuration beans and dynamic MBeans. Whenever you are connecting to the server, whenever you connect into admin server or managed servers, you are getting all this runtime MBeans data. Okay, so that MBean access we are getting with MBean server because WLST is a JMX client. Is it clear?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, so
So,
we'll do that when we come to that after 9 sessions. We'll be working on different connecting and doing the configurations, etc. You don't worry about that. Yeah, we'll see that each MBean type and how we are going to have the hierarchy of each one. We are working on
JMX,
database, we are working on JMS. Each one is having MBIN, separate MBIN, and that will be, we'll see that one.
JMX client like can be anything, right? Like it's not only WLST. You can use Java and some programming and get statistics, right?
Exactly. You can write your own Java program. You can use JConsole. You can use Tulakia, and it's having lot of features. JMX is a one feature which will connect to multiple clients. The client JMX client will be in anything. You can have on browsers. You can have it on programs anywhere. You can use it.
So basically, like WLST is one of the
One of
I mean
one of the
one
JMX.
of the client, yeah, client for JMX.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, so what we can get from this WLST script, how it is benefiting for us. Okay, so the main benefits you can see here, the simple and it is clear syntax, that is the main benefit. If easy to read, understand, the scripts are very, very clear. And using the WLST, Java, Jython libraries, you can easily connect and import anything you want. You want some functionality from Java, you can get it into your WLST. Any platform. Once you are written a script in Windows, the same script can work on Linux, or same thing can run on your Solaris also. That is, platform independence is there in Python. And fast performance. Once your shell is started, all the things, whatever you want to access, if you compare with the admin console and your WLST, it will be much more higher fast performance. If I want to make 100 server managed servers creation, one for loop will do finish within a fraction of seconds. You can create. Same thing if you do on the admin console, it will take a lot of time. So fastest performance you will get the task when you have multiple things to do. You have the different command utilities in WebLogic, WebLogic.admin, WebLogic.deployer. Okay, so there are a lot of other things which are inbuilt, which are pushed apart, and you can use only WLST for everything. So WebLogic.admin was supported up to 11G. 12C is not supporting WebLogic.admin now. WebLogic.deployer is supporting, and it is all 25 different functions are there. All the functions you can do from your WLST. WebLogic configurations, you can create domain, you can deploy using Ant. That task you can invoke in WLST. That is also saves a lot of time. Okay, so WebLogic, you can have a lot of administration tasks, whatever you do on console. More than that, you can do with the WLST shell. Okay, so how these jobs are there in US? Just taking one sample with the Fusion middleware SOA administration. This is having older data, but it is keep growing. That the demand is keep on increasing because Fusion middleware products also increasing. Earlier it is only Oracle SOA and 11G, but now SOA ESB, and it is having a lot more, 27 different products. They are focusing with the same platform. WebLogic is a platform, and it is becoming an infrastructure as a service on the cloud. And it is making, whenever you're going towards the cloud, everybody asking that automation first. You know what automation, you know shell scripting, or you know Python WLST. So these are the basic requirements in current trend, what it is going on there. Okay, and if you look at this salary wise also, you can demand more if you are having automation as a part, or program any scripting in your skill set. That will be makes sense. um, what are we are going to cover in this training? And this is a whole set. We are going to cover about what is WLST, how we are going to work on it, what are the installation things we need. If you have everyone installed WebLogic on your systems, then it is comfortable. I'm not going to do any script on my system because you are going to do the scripts and executing. Okay, so this is like more learning, not just viewing like a movie and just sleeping. It's like doing everyone. That's my intention. So Python variables, how we can use in WLST, that is the second session, and it covers all the uh, data structures what we have in Python. That is the most important thing, and WebLogic scripting is using most of them, sequences, lists, and tuples, then maps, dictionaries, etc. So all those we are going to cover. And then string is the most powerful thing, and it is required for every scripting language. If you understand string functions, you are done with a lot of automation work. Any scripting, you go for Perl, you go for AWK or CD, all these are work with the text patterns. Okay, so string, we are having around 40 plus functions in Python, and you can execute most of them in WLST. Okay, so we'll try to work on most of them and try to understand how the functions are going to work. Program controls, the basic program structure. Some of them who doesn't know programming, this will be very good to learn how to make decision making using the if and else, if else if, and looping iterations you can do with while loop, for loop, and the basic control. You can break the looping using break and continue the loop. So these are the most important things we are going to learn. And then functions, the modularization, the programming hierarchy. If you see, they're moving from modular programming, functional programming, then object oriented. So all these are different hierarchies. Then the functional program, modularization for your scripts you can make in WLST, that will make sense, that will saves a lot of coding effect. So rewriting of the same lines is avoided when you write the functions and procedures. In this one, if you want to make one line, then there is a special function called lambda function. So this was introduced in Python, and the same thing is copied into now Java 8 is introduced the lambda functions in Java programming. Anyway, if you compare Java program will be 200 lines and Jython program will be 20 lines. So with the number of lines will be less, then less number of errors. More number of lines, more chances of making issues or errors. We are going to have the exception handling, error handling, different levels, Python level and Jython level, WLST level. How do we make that? Then we have the file input output operations. We also having object orientation, and then regular expression. This regular expression we almost covering in the shell script, and this will be almost same, but how it is possible in the WLST, that we'll try to just recollect and map that and try to understand that one. Okay, and this is the basic Python related scripts, Python related training. Then the second phase we are going to go with the JMX, offline online JMX overview. How do we are going to interact to manage our creation, machines, node managers, and data source configuration using JDBC, MBeans, and JMS. The JMS servers we are going to configure with the WLST, connection factory, and the destinations like queues, topics we are going to configure. Application deployment, how do we deploy the application on using the WLST. Then monitoring your different environments. What are the issues you have and how you can monitor that, we can see in detail. And the tricks, some of the best practices we'll see. And that is about the total course. Okay, so monitoring will take some more time, and it will take different parts of monitoring. Yep. Any questions? This is what we are going to cover in the sessions. Guys, are you with me? Yeah.
Pavan, I have a question on, but not with the WSLT, with the shell script.
Okay.
So is this course is combining shell scripts and WSLT scripts?
Yeah.
Okay, so how many sessions are you going to
For
take for shell
JavaScript, it
script?
is 15 sessions. For WLST, 18 sessions, 18 hours.
Okay, 15 session means 15 hours or
Hours.
okay.
So hope you are enjoyed the session and gave your feedback and any suggestion, anything you want, you can send a mail so that we can proceed further in the next week. Okay. So
Pawan,
timing is
so,
flexible for you,
hello, Pawan.
everyone. Yeah.
Pawan, um, is it like same way you're going to cover like, I mean, 1 hour shell and 1 hour WLST parallelly, or like
No, not
how you,
parallelly. It is like 3 days shell scripting, then 3 days WLST.
okay, so from now, like every day it's going to be same time, like, I
Yeah.
mean, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, or like that, or only weekday?
Yeah, that timings and the dates, you just send a feedback mail, just send a reply to Shailaja. Shailaja will schedule that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's, I mean, like schedule, this training session schedule is not at confirmed.
No, no, no. It is confirmed. Definitely we'll be having that exact timing, what time you are expecting, most of you, then that will be confirmed. Like 7 o'clock or
Oh,
7:30 for my IST timing.
basically, like we are not going to have any sessions tomorrow, day after tomorrow. Like, I mean,
Sunday we
so
don't
once
have.
confirmed, it's
Sunday,
going to start.
yeah.
Okay.
So our first class will be on Monday, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Monday,
And
Pawan,
Pawan,
it's
is it
India time. India time Monday.
like
Yeah.
okay?
Pawan, is it your time Monday then Sunday evening for us?
Yeah, yeah, Sunday evening for you. Yeah, any concerns, you just send a mail and you will see that when we can begin. But yeah, weekly 5 classes we can, 6 classes we can plan. Is it comfortable? 5 classes or 6 classes?
so first,
One.
so first class will be this Sunday.
A Sunday, yeah, your Sunday. I'm expecting.
Okay.
Yeah, if your guys are okay for that.
I prefer Monday to Friday, Pawan, like same class session.
Okay. How about you, Vinod and Kiran, Kanti? What do you say, guys?
Um, y-
You don't have any concerns?
yeah, Pavan, this is Vinod. Actually, I think I am attending other class also. So let me talk to Shailaja. So maybe I will attend for shell scripting.
Okay. All right. All right, guys. Thank you very much, and I hope best feedback from you guys. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Pavan.
thanks.
Thanks, Pawan.
Bye bye.
Thank you.